Many people ask me over lunch why we've got a relaunch. Haven't we got Materials KTN, and haven't we had it for the last 3 years? And those people who spoke to me felt, in their view, it was working very well. So what's the relaunch? Alan didn't say relaunch, did you? Yes, he did. And he said restructure as well. So it's about many, many words and descriptions to say there is a future for Materials KTN. Okay? And that's really, let me underline that. There is a future for the KTN. But there are conditions. And that's what relaunch, restructuring is all about. What I'm going to go through is really describe and share with you what, the tenets of what has been presented to the Technology Strategy Board to approve. So we cannot relaunch today because we haven't got approval yet. But we would like to relaunch in June, as Alan sort of indicated. So we will hold the Technology Strategy Board to that, because Alan said it. In June, we will relaunch. In fact, on the 11th of June at the House of Lords, the Honourable President for Materials UK, Lord Haskell, has actually booked and reserved a date, an evening at the House of Lords for us. So yeah, it's a challenge for the Technology Strategy Board to actually make a decision for us to be able to gather around in the House of Lords. Okay, talk about a pool. So what we have and what we presented to the Technology Strategy Board is a 3-year business plan. The business plan, as I started off saying, is not about completely creating a new Materials KTN. It's really building on the successes we have, but addressing some issues. And these issues were really raised when the Technology Strategy Board did a review of knowledge transfer activities in the UK, which led to a number of recommendations, including the restructuring of the KTN's landscape as a whole to make sure that it's covering the wider economic landscape. What we have to address as Materials KTN are 3 things. One, establishing a much stronger brand. Now, you would say we already have a very strong brand, and I will explain why the brand we have is of concern. Make it more simpler. Make the Materials KTN structure much more simpler. Make sure that when the Materials KTN and the different groups within the KTN, different delivery partners, do things in terms of knowledge transfer activity, it is recognized that this is an activity really that is supporting the Technology Strategy Board and not interpreted as something different. And being seen from the outside that the Materials KTN is one, that is working together as one KTN and not many KTNs. The other point is to actually look at efficiency improvements. Our programs were targeted, look at our delivery and make sure it's as effective and efficient as we can get. Any challenge for any business going for a new strategy, a new business plan, it needs to. But what we have to respond to is a cut in budget. Whether it's designed to sharpen our minds or it's through an assessment that there's a lot of fact within the Materials KTN, or it really, because we are in austere conditions, it's for the Technology Strategy Board to really answer. But what they said to us was, we want you to present a business plan that addresses all these efficiencies and restructuring, but at 40% less cost than you had in the last 3 years. But here is an opportunity. Give us a business scenario that actually lifts up another 20% on our new baseline. So it's not all about just the 40% cut, but you have an opportunity to actually recover some of that cut. And there are other funds and programs within the Technology Strategy Board that actually help to augment. So in the end, if we are ambitious enough, we will actually probably get more funding than we had in the last 3 years, but very well targeted. So that's a challenge for all of us as a community to make sure we are delivering and we can integrate with what is happening on innovation platforms, take advantages of knowledge transfer partnerships. And there are a number of areas where we haven't been as good as we could be, and really tap into those funds. So it's a challenge for us. We have an opportunity as a KTN to actually charge for some of our services. One thing that's clear from the Technology Strategy Board is we will never charge for membership. So membership should be free. But we can put on things and charge for them, and if you're willing to pay, you come to those activities. Not a lot of money, but hopefully one that can offset the cost of providing those services. And Materials UK was mentioned in terms of the energy and the first energy call in 2007. The strategic research agenda reports that were produced, and really making sure that the KTN gets benefit from that distinctive role that Materials UK has to play. So Materials UK providing a sort of a strategic role and policy role for the Materials KTN, or within the Materials KTN. The other dimension is to look at the impact. So both soft and hard, but there are strong business engagement within the Materials KTN. So within this restructuring and meeting the challenges that we've been given and a cut in baseline budget, we must make sure that we continue to have businesses strongly engaging with Materials KTN. At the last count, we have 65 organizations that are actually engaged in direct steering of the Materials KTN through the different groups. How can we maintain that? Very strong governance, management and financial control. It's a large KTN, let's make sure it works very efficiently. And make sure that we are happy to implement the technology strategy for materials and aspects of high value manufacturing that we help to actually put together. We need to be able to show that there's a real impact on our activities on the UK economy. How do we measure that? We do produce some evidence of achievement. We produce case studies, and very often, in fact, in most cases, we rely on the businesses that are actually being at the sort of receiving end of the benefit to report back in terms of case studies and their willingness for us to be able to share what has been achieved and how we went about doing that with the rest of the membership. The Technology Strategy Board will want us to continue to do that. And making sure we are leveraging international participation for UK. Have a strong international program that actually benefits UK.